Hello, my orc friends. I'm not seeing any, I was gonna say orc priests. Well, hello to you, you son of a gun. I am gonna Kiss of Death immediately on the orc priests. That one is worth the drain here. I mean, we're not sitting at terrible health. I believe mountain dwarfs have like a plus 10% mod on the health pools, which is not too bad. Let's separate you kiddos slightly. In fact, I'm not sure. I was going to say I'm not sure about continuing to do our stair dancing here. Ended up doing it anyway, which maybe not the most intelligent move that we've ever made, but it worked out in this case and keeps things, I guess, going in a nice orderly fashion, so can't complain too much. We get another spellbook, plus finally seeing our entrance. Ooh. And the spellbook has Vampiric Drain, which again is a very nice fit for us overall. And we do have an altar to Yred somewhere in here. So, I think this is the one that we'll at least get to take a look here. So we get an Umbra right away, I believe. And if we kill enemies within it, raises Undead Serpent. So that's all fairly in line with the red changes from like 0.30, I think. Maybe 0.28 a while back when they were first kind of updated. But let's see, we can light the torch and reap souls. So if my understanding of this is correct, I did a little bit of light reading to prep for this. I believe that we only gain piety when our black torch is lit. So you can do it once per floor, and if you leave the floor, it goes out. So we kind of have to gauge things and decide when we want to commit. This is going to be our main go-through of the floor, and we might struggle if we have to switch that up. So something, again, to just kind of keep in mind. Oh, whoops, and let's make sure we actually worship, shall we? Beautiful. So we can now light the black torch. We can also recall our harvest, which is beautiful. Should I just light up now? I mean, not much of the floor left to go here now, so let's do it. We lift the black torch aloft and begin our conquest of level 4 of the dungeon in Yred's name. And may the blessings be with you. Beautiful, we got our first friend even. Gotta love to see it. Let's take a look. So Sublimation of Blood, I don't think we'll be using. Fugue of the Fallen actually getting pretty close to being an option for us here. So let's learn that and Vampiric Draining now. Beautiful. And we could end up going with something like Slow, you know, have some built-in utility here. Momentum Strike, also not a bad idea, even though it has to be used with a grain of salt. A bit of caution, making sure we don't get ourselves stuck anywhere too horrible. But okie dokie. With the torch lit, let us continue to make our way through. Oh, confusion right off the bat here. I mean, I do have a lot of potions in that stack, so we immediately use that up, and we do confirm that it is indeed curing. And now we'll, go in with our group of friends, I was going to say, but I didn't realize we had 2 invisible buddies. Oh, and our other big stack of potions. Not great. To get mutation here. Maybe? Oh no, it was degeneration. Even worse. Wonderful. So, what I should have been doing here was definitely resorting to some of our consumables earlier. I'm now going to throw out an Ice Blast. That gets us 1. And we'll Ice Blast a second time. Right there. And that is fantastic. If all of you could jump on this Ufetibus, that would be great, and we'll try to assist while not getting any of our friends killed while we're at it. I mean, at 14 health, we might be fine. We have 7 AC. The Umbra, I believe, also reduces the hit chance of our enemies, or I guess it improves our evasion is maybe the better framing for it. But let's jump in here to help out ourselves. A little bit scarier than I would like. Excuse me? Is the fire ever gonna go out? I'm gonna drink a curing. There we go. Holy moly, a little bit closer to the gun than I was expecting. But in general here, I mean, early on, our zombies aren't going to be that powerful for us. They do help with a little bit of snowballing action. You know, if the start of the run or the start of the floor all goes smoothly, then chances are we can kind of bring our crowd in and fight in nice big open rooms. But overall, in general, I think the main advantage that the zombies bring in the early parts of the game here is escaping. You know, we don't have to worry about opportunity attacks if we can just swap positions with one of our friends. And so, by and large, I think we'll want to be leading the charge as we go in, with the ability to just retreat through the masses if push comes to shove here. But let us mess around and find out, shall we? Did see... Is this a slightly better axe? No, it was just a hand axe, so nothing to see there, folks. I don't think we can take our friends with us. Okay, so that's operating as normal. Yikes. My troll. Really? Well, that's not something you want to see this early on. I think I will try to make this work, though. If we just blast you a bunch, then that works out fantastic. And we get the nice early kills, get some friends. Oh, our torch is currently not lit. Ooh, this becomes an interesting order of operations here. I think early dungeon, we're going to be trying to stick around. So let's hold the torch aloft right away here and hope that we can leverage that into a nice amount of piety as we continue onwards. This time I will let all of our friends join the fight against the Scorpion. We don't want to become too poisoned, you know, despite the fact that we do have fairly solid... Oh, you know, I was going to say defenses in general, and then I realized that we actually have a protection from poison ring. So never mind, no problems whatsoever. Hello, Ribbit. How's it going, my friend? I think we will try to face off against. We'll do a nice early drain to try and get some early progress here, I guess, overall. I could let our friends do a little bit more of the heavy lifting here. Very least, I should maybe be throwing some things. And you know what? At the end here, let's just try to ensure some survival. So we'll do that right there. And let's see, his potent soul becomes fuel for the torch. So potent soul, I think, is maybe an indication that it was a unique. Oh, and the Howler Monkey actually dies. Oh my gosh, these friends are better than I expected. I was ready to run away to try and regenerate some health in the interim period there, but that is fantastic. And we get some more Ice Blast charges. Love to see it. This is where we truly get to see our friends shine, because as soon as things start to look even remotely sketchy, we can get the heck out of dodge. Maybe. Depends on how the fight with this invisible wizard goes, I guess. Fantastic. So we don't need to take advantage of it, but we knew the option was there, and that security was what gave us the confidence, the aplomb to continue forward in that case. So fantastic. Let's try to just finish off the rest of the floor here. Should have already taken care of the majority of threats, so just a slight victory lap there. Fantastic. And then we'll continue downwards. I should double check. Okay, these derived undead, as I believe they're called, do, like most of the old zombies, disappear as we go up and down floors. So something to keep in mind there. I guess as we get stronger here, we should double check. So when we light the torch, oh, we get undead servants right away? Well, in that case, I think I'll be lighting up again here. And then as we continue upwards, we'll eventually be able to throw some torchlights to get some good damage there. Binding Living Souls, I think, works almost like the BO revive mechanic, where we can mark someone, and then when they die, they'll join us as a bit more of a constant companion, something like that. And we can engulf our surroundings in Yredelemnul's grip. Interesting. We'll have to see exactly what that shakes out to mean here as we continue forward. But let's raise the torch. A Marokuda? I haven't even seen you myself. I do like Marokuda though. Now that's a fun name. Flame wreath skeleton of a carnivorous fish. Interesting. You can bite and you can summon more of yourself. That is a nifty little ability, my friend. These are all temporary summons, so potentially, now that I think about it, the way to play this is to light the torch when we start coming up against our first enemies of the floor. We'll see how long these summons last. Maybe they're a bit more durable. No, they're gone now. So we definitely want to kind of hold on to that, keep it in the back pocket until we face enemies next time. Good to know. I thought they'd be more akin to our zombie pals here, but that is fine. I do believe we can get some pretty strong allies out of that ability as we continue later on into the run. So that will be fantastic to potentially see as we make some progress here. But okay, that was a pretty tame D6 here. Nothing too exciting, nothing to sneeze at, but let's keep on going, shall we? Not too shabby. Okay, so this time I can raise the torch. This is a bit of the perfect scenario for it. I raise the torch and get through a hard encounter. My only issue is my moral compass. I know we're embracing the darkness here. We're becoming a necromancer, which in its essence is a bit of pseudo evil magic, at least in most mythologies, but maybe, just maybe this time, we'll make an exception. Especially, oh, if we can just kill Pickle before any of his friends die, please? Yes. We got all 4 Lemirs freed. Justice shall be had. But this level up, we're going to pivot a bit. This time I'm taking intelligence, so let's try to work towards some of our other abilities here. Oh my gosh, the Marokuda is popping off. You know what? I'm going to let the Marokuda do its thing here for a little bit. In fact, you're all temporary summons. Why the heck don't we take advantage of that, shall we? Get in there, champ. Hell yeah, brother. Oh my gosh, and then we almost take a bit of a tumble. Fortunately, not bad enough for us to require leaving the floor. Oh, I should, though, actually do a consumable check. I'm back to my old habits of waiting until D7 before even starting to explore the possibilities in our backpack. Oh, never change, me, never change. But we'll do a bit of IDing of our heavier potion stacks. Unfortunately, don't find the heal wounds that I was aiming for. But we're repaid on the scroll side of things, one of our large scroll stacks being Blink here. Ooh, and a mark trap coming down is not ideal. But let's start the fugue here. Each enemy we kill will, of course, contribute a little bit there. Let's try Vampiric Draining on this son of a gun. Okay, we fail our first cast, but another couple gets the job done here, gets the world flowing around us. And we'll, of course, maybe I miscast Fugue of the Fallen now that I'm looking at this. Never saw the buff come up. Whoopsie daisies. We do good work here, of course. But okay, I need to be slightly cautious. I just don't want to fall victim to our orc mage friend here, so we'll actually let our zombies do some of the work there, soften them up. That's fantastic. Hey, Brain, how's it going? Always lovely to see you, of course. Hope things have been well on your end. Hope you're having a good weekend. Also, before I forget, let us head back a ways here, because we will want to grab this war axe. We can get a little bit of an upgrade there. In fact, current delay on this is 0.6 with 11 damage. Would go up to 0.8 with 17 damage. Still attacking more than once per turn, so I think I'm happy to make that trade. for the moment here. Son of a gun. Well, Joseph is a bit of a problem. Let's take out one of the orc priests. And then we can use our friends as the lovely meat shields that they are to just retreat back. This is where I think in order to really let our black torch shine, as it were, I think we need to have some regeneration, because we can definitely do this pretty safely, especially in all our early encounters. But as we get a bit deeper into the game, I'll need to actually be healing up when we make these retreats. So we'll hold out hope for that. I think those were potentially the same orc pack from before. At least, fingers crossed it was, because then it means that we've at the very least reduced the effectiveness of this pack of enemies. But let's see, Fugue of the Fallen only works if I have popcorn to kill. So it's not great in this case, the 1v1 against Joseph. So let's just drain us both, because that's a solid way to start off the encounter here. And we are able to push through it and everything. Fantastic. Interesting. AC goes down a bit for some fire resistance. Probably not a great trade right now, but we'll keep an eye out. And let's otherwise just get back on the highway, shall we? Slight onslaught of hiccups. Hopefully it's not the start of anything here. We do have this number next to our torch, which I'm curious. I believe Hurl Torchlight has a limited number of uses per floor here. So it can only be used while the torch is lit, fair, and it uses some of its flame. So it never extinguishes it, but it leaves us unable to hurl more until it recharges. 3d9 is pretty solid. At a 10% failure, we haven't even trained any invocations yet. Not too shabby. But speaking of, we are going to do so now. With a +3 aptitude, we should be able to lean fairly heavily on the invocation side of things. So I think that'll be a pretty solid start for us. And then we might actually throw our spellcasting up again here as well. Because, again, these skill caps will be hit pretty soon, so we can spread ourselves out. Prepare for the future, as it were. Okay, do we have many scary enemies? I mean, I want... There we go. That's a light the torch for me, brother. Get 'em, boys. And I'll come around and help out as well. Invocation got 3 levels. Okay. I mean, makes sense, but still, I think more impressive than even I was expecting here. So we hit level 10. Again, let's try to take advantage of our pack of friends here. So against what is usually the better judgment in DCSS, we're going to charge ahead, well injured, to just try to get some leverage over the rest of this floor. Actually, should have been standing 1 square closer, just so that our Umbra was overlapping enemies and gave us some chances. But not the end of the world. Do you know what? I think this might be a good time. Let's try this out. Okay, our first throw, not super effective, so maybe we won't worry about it. I'm curious. Do we have to worry about friendly fire with this? No, it empowers our friends, and it's harmless to the user. Okay. So maybe I try to take a step back. Just want to see it in action here. So we throw something like this, and it gives might to all of our allies? Holy moly. I really like that mechanic. I like things that have multifaceted utility. So in this case, the torch can be used offensively to kill enemies, but we could, at some point in our future, just straight up use it on our allies, not even hitting a single enemy, and still get a pretty solid benefit out of it. So that is very cool. I'm excited for the potential possibilities that could bring. But I will soften up our first orc friend here. Maybe a little bit overkill to start off here. but trying to keep safe and at the back of the group, so that works out. I will pick up some chainmail. We probably should experiment at some point with how heavy we can go. In fact, let's do a little dabbling now. I mean, the chainmail brings us back up to where we were before we did our change of skill allocation. So that doesn't sound too bad for now. We gain 1 or 2 armor class. I wasn't fully paying attention, but something along those lines. Not too shabby. And otherwise, let's just keep feeding the flames here, shall we? A Ring of Dexterity. Now that's something that we can at the very least throw on for the time being. Not too bad. And beautiful. There's a bit of an interesting interaction here with lighting the torch, because timed vaults, or not even timed vaults, sorry, but rather these portal vaults, maybe is the right nomenclature for it. If we want to take them on right away, we'll get the piety gain from anything we kill inside. Otherwise, no dice. Still not great. Like, I'm not going to charge in now. I don't think there's a shot in this beautiful green earth that we make it through all these Sun's Guns in one piece. We have a sketchy ghost, we have gargoyle, pyromancer, so not exactly our pay range here. A little bit outside, but that may be something to think about. So otherwise, let's just continue forward. I mean, talking about that, saying the word timed gate or time portal did make me wonder, you have to be careful of that, because heading into one of the time portals counts as leaving the floor, or at least I'd assume. Oh, sorry, I have a stray hair somewhere that's tickling my face. But leaving into a time portal does count as leaving the floor, so when we get that text on entry, we might actually have to hold off from raising the torch, which is an interesting little give and take. But we haven't raised our torch on this floor yet, waiting for a slightly tougher encounter. I mean, if there's ever a time, I will send all of you to try and kill our two-headed friend here, I think first and foremost. Beautiful. And then the AoE steam attacks, definitely not great for the continued survival of our pals. But hey, not the end of the world. Do I continue exploring? I'll heal up a bit. The thought there was that our friends also required some healing, so I was hoping that we could leverage a bit more operational function out of our vampire buddy, but hey, not the end of the world. Still a much safer approach for us to heal up there. So I don't think that that was a bad idea by any means. We do have poison resistance, but it wasn't enough to prevent the slow here, so I am going to have to lean heavily into the Ice Blast just to ensure some survival. Though now that I think about it, we're almost done this floor. Should I have just been throwing Torchlight to my heart's content? Comes with a little bit of a piety hit, but that's not the end of the world.